Request? We spread the gospel to the east side, then we take it all over to the west side. Can't forget about them brothers in the countryside. Shout outs to the prophets going worldwide. We going worldwide, out here making moves. Out here making moves.
We making movies with the moves we making. Shoot, they directed and executive produced by the truth. If you looking for us, we explorers. You can find us in Honduras or the forest, a different card, but one accord. Cause we all teach the same word, note the source.
In the southern, that's a righteous world. Yeah, if you know wisdom, a picky girl. To hell with dogs and the swine. You know I never give them pearls. Yeah, I just touched down in Puerto Rico. Ain't no vacate, going straight to the street though. No Espanol, headed flyers to the people. Only thing I know, Negro, Jesus Cristo, yeah. Now we traveling, baby.
Hey, shalom, listening audience, Tallahassee, Florida, Heaven 98.3. Heaven 98.3. This is the Quest to Wake Up the 12 Tribes radio show.
That's right.
Thank you, Officer Mattathias. I was about to say 5, man. My bad. Heaven 98.3. We back with another episode brought to you by Israel United in Christ.
That's right.
All right, all praise to the Most High, man. We're back. We got another topic for you.
Right.
Another hot topic. Officer Elijah, you look like you want to say something. Go ahead.
Well, what we trying to do is we're trying to show our people things that's been hidden from you. We're trying to open our people's eyes. And today we're going to be going over something called Cointel Pro. A lot of people may not be familiar with that name, but after this show, you will have some knowledge on what the Cointel Pro did to your people and how it affected your people and where we at right now.
Okay, I see sound effects. They trying to do a little something.
You heard
what
it.
you got, Officer Obadiah?
Hey, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting topic. Our people need to know
Right.
how they can get infiltrate within them own people. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know. I think I might be getting teary-eyed. Officer Obadiah just considered Judah his people.
Oh,
praises,
Oh,
officer.
praises.
All praises.
it's a true statement.
All praises. My brother.
my brother.
My brother. Hey, give me a script, man. Give me Ecclesiastes 1 real quick. Like the officers was saying, when it came to civil rights movement, what's that? The FBI, Hoover, all that good old stuff, man. We're going to visit that a little bit today. Probably visit it another time as well, get more in depth, but definitely a good topic to go over because, like you said, the truth has been hidden to our people, Officer Elijah. The truth has been hidden, and we don't know, first and foremost, who we are, and we don't know why things have happened to us the way they've happened. You know what? As we're speaking about it, give me another scripture. Give me Ecclesiastes 5 and 8. I'm going to tell you exactly why it's happened, why Jim Crow, why the FBI did Cointel Pro. All of these things come against us. I'm going to tell you right now. So we ain't got to ask and look funny or nothing like that. I'm going to show you right here according to this scripture. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Come on.
If thou seest the oppression of the poor.
Now, a lot of people are going to say, we bring this up before. This ain't the people on the street corners panhandling.
Right.
This ain't the people over there. You got any spare change? That's not who the poor is talking about.
Nope.
Give me Isaiah 14 and 32.
Bring it out.
Isaiah.
Woo! The reader is on point. Gosh, no, I couldn't even get to next. Hey, I'm not even mad at you.
You're all right.
Sheesh. Real quick, let me do a little talk real quick. He's all right, man. All praises. What was I about to say?
You're talking about the poor.
The poor, right? The poor is not a inclusive category.
Right.
Believe it or not, in the Bible, the poor is exclusive.
Right.
Okay, we're going to read that. Isaiah 14 and 32.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 32.
Come on.
What shall one then answer the messenger of the nation?
Come on.
That the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it.
You see that? Zion, the poor of his people.
Right.
Zion is not everybody.
Right.
Zion is Jerusalem. All right, showing you what? The Israelites, the Jews, those are the people of God. So
That's right.
let's go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 8. Watch this.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Come on.
If thou seest the oppression of the poor.
So if you see the Israelites being oppressed, read.
And violent perverting of judgment.
And you see the violent nation perverting judgment. You got to think about it. When it came to COINTEL, we're going to dive into it. That is a perverting of judgment because they took away the right of your personal privacy.
Right.
They invaded your privacy in COINTELPRO. They said they tapped the phones, wired. They were listening to conversations, following people, recording people, okay? And that is against people's privacy, okay?
Secret cameras.
Exactly.
They broke laws that they set.
There you go. Hypocritical. Read that again.
If thou seest the oppression of the poor,
Come on.
and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province.
Perverting of judgment and justice in a province. Let's just talk. Let's say the province is the United States of America. Right. Let's just say that for this class. All right, go ahead.
Marvel not at the matter.
Don't ask, why do you treat me like this?
Right.
Don't say that I am a man. You know, it's very pathetic.
Right.
It's very pathetic when we have to march with signs that say I am a man.
Acknowledge it.
Don't you see me walking? Two legs, I got a pair of breeches on. I have to tell you that I am a man? That shows you what? That the prophecies have come true.
Right.
I'm sorry. I got another scripture.
All praise.
Give me 1 Peter chapter 2. Okay? I want 9 and 10. All right? Because I'm going to show you that the Israelites are the only nation on the face of the earth that have ever had to say that they are a man. I'm going to show you that. Watch this. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Watch this.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9.
Come on.
But ye are a chosen generation,
God says the Israelites are a chosen generation. Come on.
a royal priesthood, and holy nation,
Read.
a peculiar people.
Come on.
That ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
God says that the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are a chosen people unto himself.
That's right.
But watch this.
Which in time past were not a people.
Wait a second. God is saying that there will come a time when the Israelites will be called not a people, to the point where we would have to march with signs that say, I am a man.
Right.
You have to acknowledge me, showing you what? There ain't nobody else on the face of the earth that can identify with this.
Right.
It'd have to be the Israelites, so-called black, Hispanics, Native Americans. Go ahead, officer.
Man, that's bad. I'm gonna add on to what you just said, because I remember brothers are saying they want to be acknowledged to be equal. Right. Why would you want to be equal when God says that you're the greatest thing that ever created? Give me that in Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
So God says you are holy unto himself. To be holy is to set apart. He separates you from everybody. Read.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
I did not make this up. It's in the scripture. Go read it for yourself. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. He chose you above everybody that's upon the face of the earth.
Right.
So you are above them, not equal to them.
Now, God is telling us
And you know that's right.
that he has a special people.
Right.
He has a chosen people, which I don't think anybody, any historical scholar or anyone who is interested in any type of literature, you've probably read the Bible before, right? Anybody educated in that sense would have to agree that the Jews are God's chosen people. I don't think that's far-fetched to understand. It's just the hard part is that when you say that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are in that number, that's where the issue comes about. And that's really what this whole show is about. We're trying to show the people that are called minorities, the people who are hated and despised against, we're trying to show you that, according to the Bible, you are worth more than what you could ever imagine.
You're gonna learn
What
today.
society has taught you about yourself is 100% incorrect. The reason why I say 100% is because we are called nationalities on this side of the world, on how, you know, the powers that be that want to identify us. But according to the Bible, it shows us that our history is much richer than the 400 years that we have been over here on this side of the earth.
Right.
You have something off, Elijah?
I was going to add what you were just saying, Cap. Our people, because we're so lost and don't know who we are, we attach ourselves to stuff that we think have meaning. Like I was talking to a brother today at camp. He bragging on how he hotep, as if that's something glorious to say. And some people like to say we were kings, as if that's the greatest thing you could ever say is I'm a child of God. I'm an Israelite. God's chosen people. It ain't no title better than that. And our people, we don't even realize it. Saying that we want to be equal to the other nations, that's below where God put us. We shouldn't want to be equal to what God called a spittle. God compared them to spit in his eyes.
Let me show you something. Give me the book of Romans 12. And then I don't want us to forget the thought in the Ecclesiastes 5. Give me the book of Romans 12, all right? And read 17, please.
Romans chapter 12, verse 17.
Come on.
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Now, someone would hear, a new identity, according to the Bible, and some may think that this is, get back or revenge. Absolutely not. All we're doing is educating, okay, with historical fact, biblical fact, things that are tangible and cannot be negated, okay? Right. It's to bring awareness to an issue that has plagued a certain demographic of people.
Right.
You understand? For over 400 years. We think about things like drug abuse. We think about things like depression, even high blood pressure, like you said, single-parent households. We ask the question, why does this particular group of people, this particular classification of people, the ones who are plagued by this at high levels?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you this. Maybe if they had a sense of who they are, if they had a self-worth, that they are better than just a color in a crayon box, right? If they actually knew who they were, maybe there wouldn't be so much crime. Maybe the households would be in order. Right. Now, when you tune into our show, that's the message. The message is to show the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, guess what? You have a rich history, and most important, it's in the Bible. That's right. What we're here to do, okay? But I want to show you something. I never want anybody to misunderstand the message.
Right.
The message is love. It's not hate, okay? Understand this. Watch this. Read the scripture.
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Think about it. I wish we would show that type of love to each other.
Right.
I really wish we would show that, because right now when it comes to our people, we show a lot of hatred.
Right.
Even in not just America, Haiti.
Yep.
The gangs, and go ahead, you can speak on it.
How they slaughtering each other, cutting lamb by lamb.
Yes.
It's cruel.
Damn.
When it comes to each other, we can't stand. When it comes to our enemies, we say, why can't you turn the other cheek? Why can't you love? Christ is love. That's what we say. But when it comes to each other, we show straight up pure hatred.
Pure hatred to one another. Like I said, the message is love. We have to learn. As a matter of fact, I know we haven't gotten to Cointel Pro real quick, but I want the listening audience out there to understand something. We're going to come back to Romans 12. Give me Romans 13, then go back to 12, then go back to Ecclesiastes. Then I want to jump into a clip to get on today's topic about Cointel Pro, and most importantly, we're finding out why it took place, okay? Give me the, what I call Romans 13:11, right? Read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11.
Come on.
And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Right? No. 13 and 8. My apologies.
Verse 8.
Come on.
Owe no man anything, but to love one another.
There it is. That's our message right there.
Right.
That's our message. This, if a man loved his wife, we're not talking about his boo thing. No. God tells us to be married.
That's right.
God honors marriage.
Better said.
Not side chicks. So we're teaching, thus saith the Lord. This is the change that is needed in our communities. Read that again.
Owe no man anything.
Come on.
But to love one another.
Read.
For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
If you love your brothers and your sisters, you have fulfilled the law. Now go back to Romans 12 and 17.
Romans chapter 12, verse 17.
Come on.
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Read.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
That's not what we're doing right now as a nation of people. We're not doing that. Read.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
And that's what we got to get to. But I'll tell you this, it's hard to get there without knowledge of self.
That's right.
Read your Bible.
And that's what we are doing. We are giving knowledge of self, and this is going to create a different mindset for our people. Now, let's go back to Ecclesiastes 5 and 8 really quick.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 8.
Come on.
If thou seest the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter.
Read.
For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they.
Now, it's telling us don't marvel at the matter. You know why this took place? It's called sin. Now, when you're a special people, guess what? You are held to special standards too.
That's right.
So when the Israelites, our forefathers, when they broke the commandments of God, certain atrocities, certain plagues, diseases, many things came upon us. And actually, they're still upon us to this day.
Right.
That's why the show is called
Every
The Quest to Wake Up the 12 Tribes. All right, so you can actually identify and see those exact things. So we want to give you a little overview about today's topic. Could you play the first video, please? Play that.
There's an old story, and it's used in various cultures, where a group of blind men approach an elephant and try to describe him. The first man approaches the elephant, touches its side, and says, "It feels like a wall." The next man touches a tusk and says, "The elephant must be like a spear." Another blind man touches the trunk and says, "It feels like a snake." And that is quite often what happens with our descriptions of the Black Panther Party. We know the party we were in and not the entire thing. We were making history, and it wasn't nice and clean. It wasn't easy, it was complex.
From Chicago, Illinois, the mighty Charlotte.
The thing that led to the Panthers was what we were seeing on television every day: attack dogs, fire hoses, bombings.
We stand on the eve of a black revolution, brothers.
Now we have the emergence of voices within the community that were saying we're not going to continue to turn the other cheek.
You tell them white folk in Mississippi that all the scared niggas are dead. We want black power. We want black power.
Now, could you pause it really quick? Now, think about it. Our brothers like Huey P. Newton, Starkly Carmichael. Think about it. The reason why, our brothers started rising up is because of all of the oppression, like we read here in Ecclesiastes 5.
Right.
All right. It's I think a lot of people, take it negative, but if you're always being backed against into a corner, if you back a dog into a corner, what is he going to do? He's going to attack.
Right.
I'm sick of it.
He's going to start standing up for himself. So, when America saw that, they were startled. Okay? They were startled. Now, continue. I'm going to make another point, but go ahead and continue.
This was a revolutionary time. 50 countries in the world gained their independence in the decade before the founding of the Black Panther Party. This is the time when people are getting drafted to go and fight in Vietnam. So if somebody's coming and saying, well, if you're going to fight, why not fight right here in L.A. or Oakland? That made a lot of sense.
Now, what he's saying is, why go off and fight for America's cause in another country and risk your life on somebody who's not oppressing you right there in front of you? So they said, okay, why would we go fight in Vietnam if the enemy is right here?
Right.
I see him walking up and down my streets every day. You got to think about it. Let's take race out of it. Just think about it in general. If you're getting treated like that, at some point you got to say enough is enough, right? Now, do we condone violence? Absolutely not. But what are we doing? We're showing you why this took place. All right, play on.
We couldn't be absent and see what we saw. We couldn't unsee it. I was a cocktail waitress in a white strip club 2 years before I joined the Black Panther Party. How did that happen? The rage was in the streets. It was everywhere.
We're not gonna get nothing. Not by sitting around here doing these city demonstrations and nothing. People not gonna do anything.
Well, how are we gonna do it?
By violence. Violence. By uprising, having a revolution. Just put blood, let everybody bleed a little bit.
Now, you can pause right there. Now, we just read in Romans 12, right? It said, live peaceable amongst all men. Now, I want to show you something. So, give me, let's stay in the book of Ecclesiastes, but we're going to jump over 2 chapters. We're going to go to chapter 7. And I want you to read verse 7. Watch this. This is what happens when you're constantly oppressed over and over again.
Right.
Watch this.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7.
Come on.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Now, was that the best route? Absolutely not. To go toe for toe, bloodshed? Absolutely not. That's not the best method. But I'm going to show you that this is Bible prophecy too. Watch this. Genesis chapter 49.
Bring it on.
All right, so listening audience, I want you to understand something. All of what we're saying is biblical. Genesis chapter 49, and I want verse 8. Because when it comes to vengeance, actually, could you go back to Romans 12, pick up at verse 18? I want you to read down about vengeance. Then we'll come back to Genesis.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Go ahead.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
See, that's the key right there. See? It says, avenge not yourself. Read.
But rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord.
And that's what the quest to wake up the 12 tribes is all about. We're going to show you a better way.
Right.
That's what we're going to do. Now go back to Genesis 49 because I want to show you that things like the Nation of Islam, things like the Black Panther Party, the Green Berets, you understand? All of that is biblical, okay? Now, give me Genesis chapter 49, verse 8.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 8.
Come on.
Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Judah would be the lead tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel, according to prophecy. Come on.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
Right, it says thine hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Remember, in the clip it said, why go to Vietnam? When the enemy's right there on soil in L.A. It's showing you what? That the tribe of Judah would be right here in the United States of America. Come on.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
So all the tribes will follow Judah's lead. Now I'm going to show you something. Well, I'll tell you something. Well, that's another class, another show. But understand this, when it comes to the powers that be, they understand these prophecies too.
They sure do.
Okay? God says they're wiser than Daniel, actually, United States of America. So they know about this prophecy. And that's why Cointel Pro was instituted right there. Read on.
Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
Come on.
He stooped down. He couched as a lion.
He stooped down and couched as a lion. When a lion is about to attack his prey, what does it do? Does it stand up for the prey to see it? No! It stoops down and it gets ready to attack. That's what you saw during the 60s and the 70s with the civil rights movement. Read on.
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
But guess what? They went, all of us, we went back to sleep. There's something called a crack epidemic, right? Right after that, in the 80s. All right? There's something called gangster rap. All of these are more tools to do what? Make us docile.
Right.
Did somebody have something?
Hey, Cat, what you're saying is heavy, man. That's exactly what was going on in reference of how they control the people's mind through their craftiness, how they're using COINTELPRO to put us to sleep, to infiltrate what's going on among those movements that will wake up the people like what you see here. These things is what caused a lot of so-called African American to go crazy at that time when they see what was going on, and here is a group that try to step up, and they try assassinate their character, make them look like they are a drug dealer. They are try to say kill the enemy. No, they were trying to protect themselves.
That is true. That is very, very, very true.
Give me Luke chapter 12, verse 2. So y'all can understand what we're doing. Like God already told us there's a lot of stuff that happened behind the scenes that we don't know about. And if you're waiting on anybody to come tell you about it, you're going to be waiting a long time. So what God said is he's going to expose everything that happened to us. Read that.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 2.
Read.
For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed.
Read.
Neither hid that shall not be known.
So understand, there are many things done to your people that contribute to why we at where we at right now. Like Cap pointed out, we hate each other right now. Why? Because we think that what we're looking at when we see each other is a result of our doing. No, it's a result of the things that have happened to us. So all of these things are finna be revealed, and we're trying to show you all that when you see single-parent households in the black community, yeah, we contribute to it by our decision-making, but a lot of it was placed upon us. A lot of it was instituted, and we were brainwashed into it. But read that. Read it again.
Luke chapter 12, verse 2.
Read.
For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed.
Read.
Neither hid that shall not be known.
All right, play the video. Pause, read that.
In August 2017, an official FBI report on the threat of black identity extremists was leaked to the public.
So understand, it was supposed to be secret, but it got leaked. Please believe, God saying nothing secret that ain't going to be revealed. Read. Go ahead, play.
The report identified black identity extremists as a threat to law enforcement. Critics say the report is eerily similar to the FBI's 20th century counterintelligence program.
COINTELPRO was an FBI operation established in the 50s by J. Edgar Hoover to target African Americans who were fighting for justice and equality. He targeted...
Stop. See? That's what it is right there. We were fighting for justice and equality, just like the officer said. Okay? We wasn't fighting to kill people,
right?
But that's how it was portrayed in the media. But that's what the law enforcement would do. They would have shootouts with the Black Panthers, and the Black Panthers, they had to stick up for themselves. They weren't just going to stand there and be pistol whipped and be beat down over and over again. They were going to stand up for themselves. So it wasn't fighting against the white man per se. No, they're sticking up for themselves. That's a misinterpretation. All right, go back to the clip. I'm going to say something else, too, because I got to bring out this. I'm going to let y'all go at it.
You got to be extra.
Go ahead.
Dr. King, he targeted Malcolm X, and over 80% of the targets of COINTELPRO were members of the Black Panther Party.
At the height of COINTELPRO, activists and community organizers were targeted. These include current Congressional Black Caucus members like John Lewis, Bobby Rush, Emmanuel Cleaver, and Barbara Lee.
Do me a favor, stop. I don't want to talk about today. Put this video down. I want to talk about COINTELPRO. Okay? Now, I'll parallel it because the video talked about present day and back then. So today, think about it. You have all of these enemies like Russia,
right,
like China, like North Korea, that America should be worried about, right?
Right.
But instead of being worried about them, who are they worried about? They're worried about us.
Right.
Wait a second. We don't have any military weapons.
Right. We buy our guns from you.
What the hell?
There it is. But what they do know is that we are the children of God.
That's right.
That's what they do know.
That's right.
And the more we wake up, the worse it is for them.
Right.
Because think about it. Who wants to be guilty of rape, rob, and murdering the children of God
day.
And it's prophesied that their God is going to send his son to redeem them. That would be bad, right? So they're like, no, forget Russia and China. We don't worry about these guys over here. Same thing right here. They tried to stop what was biblical prophecy, is that the Israelites are not lost. They are just misidentified.
That's right.
Okay, and it was always prophesied that the Israelites will come back to their senses and get themselves right to be gathered by God. Okay?
Right.
And Larry Hoover, he knew that too.
Yep.
Larry,
Black Christ.
yep, he knew. Yeah, pull that up. The one I sent you, IT, you could pull that one up now. So we were talking about the Cointel Pro, right? Could you read this for us?
FBI sets goals for COINTELPRO. Under Director J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI's COINTELPRO counterintelligence program was aimed at investigating and disrupting dissident political groups within the United States. In the 1960s, COINTELPRO's target frequently included civil rights activists, both those who espoused nonviolence, like Martin Luther King, and those that Hoover referred to as black nationalist hate groups, like the Black Panthers.
Right. So they say it's a black nationalist hate group, but guys, think about it. Think about it. You ever heard the term where, my people were told to go back to Africa? When they say things like that, what they're saying is you don't belong here, right? So when you see black people rise up together with their own identity, wouldn't you be like, hey, yeah, do that because you don't belong here? No, they don't do that.
Right.
They label you as a hate group for standing up for you and your people.
Come on now, dog.
I find that very hypocritical, actually.
Very hypocritical.
Now, can we go back to the article? And now you can read some of the goals. Read a little bit faster.
Goals. For maximum effectiveness of the counterintelligence program and to prevent wasted effort, long-range goals are being set.
Watch this.
1. Prevent the coalition of militant black nationalist groups.
Right. So it says prevent them from coming together, the organization of black nationalist groups. Meaning what? Blacks who realize that this is a place where they are constantly oppressed and they don't belong here and they want some sense of self.
Right.
Go ahead.
In unity there is strength, and truism that is no less valid for all its triteness.
So what are they saying? They don't want black people to unify.
Right.
Now, you think that this has been the only time this has taken place? Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go to the book of Exodus. Let's go to the book of Exodus. Could you give me verse 6?
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 6. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty. And the land was filled with them.
Right, so we see after the death of Joseph that the Israelites, they grew in the land of Egypt. Okay, read on.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people.
And this was Pharaoh almost the first. That's the king right there. Read.
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
There it is right there. We are told that we are minorities here in America.
No.
Thank you. We are not. We are not. Because we're told that blacks are different from Jamaicans that come here. We're told that American blacks are different from Haitians that come here. No, we're not. We're told that blacks are different from Puerto Ricans and Mexicans. No. We're told that blacks are different from Native Americans. No.
Divide to conquer.
We are actually all the same people.
Right.
So.
And you know that's right.
And they know that too. So they try to tell you, no, you're the minority to make you think you're inferior when actually you're the majority.
That's right.
And let's see what the Pharaoh did at this time. Guys, if you didn't know, we're going to have to do a part 2. Okay? I'm just going to let you know that right now. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when they're fallen out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us.
That's why they're not worried about Russia. They're not worried about China and North Korea.
That's crazy.
They're worrying about us.
Right.
Same thing that Pharaoh said. No, our problem is here on our own soil. We're not going to worry about the other nations. We're going to worry about these guys because they're more and mightier, and they happen to be the children of God. Okay?
Right.
Now, go back to the goals.
What's crazy, Cap, is they'll welcome every other nation to here,
Wow.
but they make sure they don't let us come in.
America is known as the great melting pot.
Right.
Everybody else is here. You know what's crazy? You know the Arabs that like missiles and stuff? They are here in abundance.
Right.
They don't have a problem with
there's no COINTELPRO on them.
They just brought some of them over here, thousands of them.
They did. And now they're bringing Ukrainian refugees over
Right.
here. Well, that's not really, they're the same people.
Right.
But go back to the article.
This is ridiculous.
I don't think we're the problem. I'm sorry, I'm just throwing it out there. Read it.
An effective coalition of black nationalist groups might be the first step toward a real Mau Mau, black revolutionary army in America, the beginning of a true black revolution.
And that's not what they want. But think about it, guys. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Wouldn't that be, I guess, just? Because they've promised reparations, still haven't gotten that.
Right.
You know, nobody's trying to go out there and pick up arms. Come on, man. Nobody's trying to do that. All we want is to be treated correctly.
We're the most peaceful people, Cap.
We are very peaceful. But for some reason, somebody just keeps poking. You know, when I really think about it, I don't think, like I said, it's not a racial thing. It's just, I think it's a reality thing, you know?
Right. Like Officer Obadiah said, even after all of the oppression we go through, all we want to do is be treated equal. That's what our people been asking for.
That's what they've been asking for. But I want to show you something right here. Let's read goal number 2.
Number 2.
And this is going to show you who the violent ones are.
Right.
Watch this.
Prevent the rise of a Messiah who could unify and electrify the militant black nationalist movement.
Read.
Malcolm X might have been such a Messiah.
It's not might. He was.
Right.
That's what he was doing. He was unifying. And what did they do? Understand.
Message.
I'll say it like this. He was killed. It was not by accident.
Right.
I'll say that. Read on.
He is the martyr of the movement today.
Read.
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King was killed. It was not by accident. Read.
Stokely Carmichael and Elijah Muhammad all aspire to this position. Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat because of his age. King could be a very real contender for this should he abandon his supposed obedience to white liberal doctrines.
So as long as he listens to everything America stands for, he's safe. That sounds like some of the leaders today, but that's a different class.
Right.
That is a different class, right? So it's saying as long as Martin Luther King, you know, he was safe and went with the opinion of America, he wasn't a threat.
And that sounds like the scripture, too, in John 11 and 47.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Protecting their own pocket.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
King could have been a very real contender for this position should he abandon his supposed obedience to white liberal doctrines and embrace black nationalism.
What's so bad about being proud to be black? What's so bad about that? Why have we always been oppressed for being proud to be black? You're finding out because you, being black, you're the most special person on the face of the earth.
That's right, and they know it.
That's what we're teaching you. This is a quest to wake you up. You should be happy. You're learning who you are.
Right.
Give me that in Jeremiah 14:2. We can never read this enough.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground. What's so bad about being a black nationalist? That means you are that closer to finding out that you are an Israelite.
Right.
Right.
Go ahead. Go back to it. And I have a book I want to read. Go back to it. Where are you at?
Carmichael has the necessary charisma to be a real threat in this way.
Right. So this is talking about a good orator, lively, and that's what Malcolm had, Carmichael, Huey P. Newton, Martin Luther King, and my other brother, Chicago.
Fred Hampton.
That's what my brothers had. And guess what? Who killed him? The FBI. Okay? It was not by accident. Now check this out. Could you pull up the Racial Matters book, please? Really quick. Pull that up. Racial matters. All right, the FBI secret file on Black America. Not on the Soviet Union, which it should have been on.
That's right.
Soviets, the red guys, the communists.
The Chinese.
The people who had real weapons.
Seriously. World War II just ended 15 years prior. Something like that. Wait, it was 1960? Yeah, it ended 12 years prior. So, of course, there's still a threat. They weren't worried about the Soviets. They were worried about us. Why is that? Let's go to the book. Read it.
Black Hate, Community Surveillance and Counterintelligence. J. Edgar Hoover focused on the Black Menace.
Who's the Black Menace? Us, the Black Panthers, Nation of Islam, Martin Luther King, all of that, the Green Berets, all of the different movements, the nationalist movements. Meaning what? They just wanted to have something identified by. So J. Edgar Hoover, which is the head of the FBI, his focus was on us. Read.
And not the Red Menace.
Could you do me a favor, IT? Type in Red Menace. Can we find out what Red Menace is? What is that talking about? Now, I know a lot of those who know who you are, you're thinking about something else. And I'm with you. But let's see what it says. Read that.
Red Menace. Red Scare or Red Menace. A term used during the Cold War era to describe the Soviet Union.
So go back to the book. You have got to be kidding me. Nobody else sees nothing wrong with this? You are more concerned about black people coming together and unifying rather than the Soviets? Look where it got you. They resurfaced. Look at that. Look at that.
Right.
You're worrying about black people unifying so much. Putin has resurfaced, and he's not playing. Looks like you should have had your eyes on him, right? That's another story, right?
Message.
Read it.
J. Edgar Hoover focused on the Black Menace and not the Red Menace during the last of the Great Society years. And he framed the FBI response to the chaos and crime of the cities accordingly.
Read.
With black activists sowing seeds of discontent and militant protest in the ghettos, and with the Johnson administration giving him free rein to march against the new Black Menace in any way he saw fit.
Stop. So you got to understand something. We went over this class, I think they banned it for YouTube, about the ghettos. That's where the Jews resort. Guess what? Who can he find in the ghettos? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So they are more concerned with blacks protesting in the ghettos than the Soviets.
Makes no sense to
I
me.
find that very troubling. You have something, officer?
I would say that shouldn't even be in the same conversation.
Not at all.
Like, we only had the guns that you sell us. We only had the supplies you give us. You controlled our education until Huey Newton said, you know what, let me educate my people. So these are things that, how were we a threat? They know who we are.
Dog.
Go back to it, please. Pick up.
The director constructed a pervasive two-track surveillance system.
Two-track surveillance system. So Lyndon B. Johnson gave J. Edgar Hoover free rein. This is the president of the United States who gave this man free rein to invade the privacy of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Hey, Cal,
Now,
let me get a preset.
that is 100%. You can't be more hated than the leader of the free world, the most powerful nation on the face of the earth, saying that, you know what, they're a problem. What you got to think about the type of pressure that is. The most powerful country is against you.
Right.
Go ahead.
Going along with what you just read. Give me that in to show you they know what they're doing. First Ezra chapter 5, verse 72. I'm gonna show you. It's they know what they're doing. Read that for me.
The book of First Esdras, chapter 5, verse 72. But the heathen of the land, lying heavy upon the inhabitants of Judea and holding them straight, hindered the building.
So what you're reading about here, hindering the building, is Israel waking up, knowing who they are. They're finding way to infiltrate, to keep us docile, to keep us comfortable. How do they do that? They give us all type of things: religion, politics, entertainment, sports, and these things keep us not knowing who we are or don't care to learn to find out who we are. Read on.
And by their secret plots and popular persuasion and commotions, they hindered the finishing of the building.
You hear that? And by their secret plots.
This is definitely a secret plot right here.
Yes.
Right.
Secret
That's a
plus.
setup, bro.
You say the president giving thumbs up. You can go and infiltrate. Go and find out whatever you need to know so we get no rise of the black messiah.
Even if you're invading their privacy. Privacy. Go ahead.
Right. It's just to show you what you see going on is for you to wake up. What we're doing, we're reaching out to you, say, hey, there's a reason why you're in the bottom. All you have to do is learn your nationality.
Like we read earlier, Ecclesiastes 5. You don't have to marvel. Like, why would they go to these leaps and these bounds just to invade black people?
Right.
No. That means you have to be greater than just black.
Better said.
So another thing about Cap is this got exposed. Imagine if it never got exposed, or how much other stuff they done did or still doing.
Exactly. IT, how are we looking on time, guys? 6 minutes. Hey, we're about to wrap up. This is part 1, all right? We're going to wrap up a little bit early because I don't want to get vested in it and get too tied up. But, hey, once again, we did 55 minutes instead of an hour. It's okay. Hopefully, Lord's will, we're coming back next week to continue this thought. And so those out there who are listening and viewing us, we want you to understand first and foremost, there's a reason why we're treated the way we're treated. There's a reason why we've been through all that we've been through and still are here to talk about it.
Right.
We've survived it. That means there's got to be something special with this particular people. And guess what? It's the quest to wake up the 12 tribes, and that's who you are. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to guess. God calls you Israel, not blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
Officers, you got anything before we sign off?
Hey, as you hear, all you have to do, go and research it for yourself. What we're giving you are history/biblical texts. That the same Bible that you have at home collecting dust. Open it up. Read it for yourself. All right? That's all I got.
The information we're giving you, you ain't going to find in your school system. You ain't going to find in your churches. So we're giving it to you for free. All you got, like officers say, all you got to do is just research it yourself and find out it's a lot more to this world than what you've been involved in than what they've been showing you. So wake up, my people.
All right. So, hey, this is the quest to wake up the 12 tribes. Put up the bar so they can see the telephone number, man. You can reach us at 855-484-4842, extension at 0709. All right, 0709. So we have a school here in Tallahassee, Florida at 3030 South Monroe Street, Tallahassee, Florida, 32301 in the Cali Beauty Supply Plaza. All right, so once again, I hope you're learning. And, bring your questions. Come visit us so we can talk and we can build.
Right.
All right, it's about the unity of our people.
That's
all right? And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can review all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.